Okay, not okay. Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Trilby's Notes. This is part 5 of the series, I guess. So anyway, this is the staircase we saw earlier. We're going to be going up and down it a lot further on in the game. And it does take a while to get up and down it sometimes, so I'm going to try and cut out most of the trips there because, well, it just takes a while. So anyway, you see that metal detector, smoke detector there? Yeah, well, we're going to use some matches on it because we're truants or something. Use matches on detector. Oh my god, it's a weird guy. Click. Then the emergency exit's unlocked and the fire brigade have been called and they're coming. So let's open the door anyway. I pushed my way through the door and descended the fire escape. And you may see on that table that there is a crowbar. That didn't make sense to me because I only typed crowbar because I haven't got my head screwed on properly today. Get crowbar. I wasn't. Oh, come on, it's right in front of you. Get crowbar. In fact, I've actually had that problem every time I've played this game. I took the crowbar with me. Perhaps it could serve a purpose. You have to stand in front of the table. I don't know if... never mind. Anyway, climb the ladder. I climbed back up the ladder and entered the same floor I'd come from. And we're back in floor 2 something. Anyway, let's go downstairs. I'm not cutting out this trip because it's like the first one that we've actually had to do, but later on in the game I probably will be cutting these out because they are a bit long sometimes. A lot of the time, actually.
Does that painting actually change?
Not in this game. It did in the last one.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is we want to get into the... Yeah, there we go. We're in the ethereal realm. That's what we wanted to do. Anyway, now we can use the crowbar on boards. That's it. And they come off. As I suspected, the stress proved too much for the ancient crowbar, which was bent to uselessness. I discarded it. Anyway, open the door. And we're in here. Anyway, open the door again, because I didn't actually mean to do that. We're going to take a pill, and this is where the whole light-dark realm stuff gets very interesting. So we open the door, and we're in here in the light realm thing, which we couldn't do in the light realm before, because the door was locked, which is... So that's a really awesome use of mechanics in this game. Anyway, I want to get this Coke. Oh, come on. Get cola. I took the drink with me. Something told me it would come in useful. You should have made it you able to use the word cola as well. Coke even, instead of cola. I mean, come on, everybody says Coke instead of cola. Anyway, let's touch the chisel. Because, you know, that's what you do. A loud buzzing played in my ears, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. Another flashback. Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, AD 1789. Mbauta had been a great warrior. In battle, his skill was thought unmatched in all of Africa. He had respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, children to make any father proud. But through just one mistake, it had all been torn away. His mistake was standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Now his great house was in ruin, his women raped, his children murdered. And from Bauta, the worst fate of all, sold to the white man in exchange for weapons, shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. And Bauta was strong. Perhaps he could have lived as a slave. But then came the sickness. A simple fever, no doubt to be gone the next day. But the white man took no chances and threw him overboard.
Drowned.
Not quite. For days, Bauta drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. Having lost everything, he now sought only this embrace of the deep and a welcome end to a life betrayed. But the end did not come then. Drowning would be like the worst way to die, because your lungs would fill up with water.
Yep.
It'd just be horrible. It'd be like, bleh. Voices unfamiliar, speaking in unfamiliar language. Bauta was suddenly terrified that the slavers must have returned, but he was as weak as a newborn, who could not move or speak. It looks like we picked him up just in time. Don't know how long he's been drifting out here, but he can't have lasted much longer. Good Lord. Look upon it, men. The greatest evidence we have of humanity's inherent evil. Never forget that men, sailors such as you or I, did this. Left this poor wretch to die. Slavers aren't sailors like you or I, Captain. No. I do not know how these devils can have the audacity to still call themselves human. Today there is no pride in being an Englishman. Find our new passenger some quarters. Make him comfortable. Passenger cabin? Every innocent who sets foot on my ship is a free man. Is there something about this policy you find questionable? Not at all, Captain. No, these were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded with terrified black faces. There was anger in the voices of the white men, but not directed at Mbauta. Still frightened, but somewhat reassured, Mbauta passed out. And then days passed, and Mbauta's health was restored. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men had been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided that it had been the will of the gods that he should survive, and that proper thanks would be in order. An idol, that was the answer. If he could just find some suitable wood and a sharp blade, he would carve the finest idol of his life. You can see where this is going. So let's go and find some wood and something to carve with. Oh, there's a guy with a chisel. Let's use that. Point chisel. Alright there, laddie. Oh, I see you want something to carve with. Here. And you got the chisel. The sailor handed Mbauta a sharp, almost brand new workman's chisel. Just bring it back when you're finished with it. And for some reason he's still chiseling. Maybe I like 2 or 4 or 28. Just climb down and... ooh, what's that written on that crate?
I can't read it.
It is quite difficult to read, but you may notice it says O'Malley Shipping.
Oh yeah.
Carve wood. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, Mbauta could finally create his offering. I think I'm saying Mbauta right. Got a really problem with names in this thing. After several hours, Mbauta was very pleased with the result. A fine rendition of his kingdom's god of fertility and good fortune. All that remained now is to return the chisel. Like that's going to go smoothly. Alright, you can't move the idol for some reason, because apparently that's a good place to put it. And that's a great place to put dead bodies, if you want to scare the living crap out of someone. And it's that tall man again, who disappears. And he's there. And then he stabs you in the face, obviously. The vision faded, and I felt myself being hurled forcefully back into the present day. That tall, thin creature, that black hat-clad ghoul, what was its significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again throughout history to spread death and horror? There was no connection to the idol's shape, or Mbauta's tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. It must have been connected to the wood of that crate, somehow. There had been a name on that crate. Mbauta hadn't been able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had. O'Malley Shipping. Yeah, just in case you couldn't read it before, like Mitch couldn't. There you go, O'Malley Shipping. Could the owner have been an ancestor of Siobhan? It was a flimsy possibility, but at that point, my only lead. I resolved to discuss this with Siobhan at the earliest opportunity. And the earliest opportunity is next episode, because I'm running out of time. So, I'll see you then. See ya.